5 pillars to create wealth and abundance. In the world of finance is not only called wealth to material goods, but it is linked to having good financial habits. So in this video we will tell you what are the 5 pillars of wealth to make your financial habits healthier. The reality is that no one wants to go through an economic crisis in which they lose everything. Although we know of cases of very wealthy people who after a while have fallen into bankruptcy, and this is nothing more than the result of not having these fundamental pillars. So, if you want to avoid falling into an economic decline or you are already in one, but you want to get ahead, see below how these pillars impact your economy and how once you incorporate them can lead you to financial success. Before we get started, remember to subscribe and like the video to receive more content like this. Let's get started. Spend less. You have an income that month after month you have to use it to live, pay for services, whims, entertainment, and feed yourself. This set of actions can form the basis of the main pillar. Consume what is indispensable, or, in other words, spend less. This is directly linked to the control and registration of your consumption. If, on the other hand, you are one of those people who, the more you have, the more you spend, you will never become wealthy. But what does it mean to spend less? This behavior has to do with those unnecessary purchases you make, either on impulse or without planning. For example, every day buying a soda while you go home. That is part of a bad habit that is reflected in loss of money. Instead, you could well have your bottle with water. A favorable habit not only for your health, but also for your pocket. Spending less is to distinguish intelligently between what you really need and what is only a desire, that is, to have a clear list of priorities in your life. Invest. In this system of pillars of wealth, investing can be related to the correct use of the savings generated from your income, implying the possibility of putting them into motion and working for you. Let's see what that looks like. Whether you earn a little or a lot of money, it's no use just accumulating surpluses in a savings account or piggy bank, because inflation is known to devalue your money. Instead, the best recourse you have is to invest in an area in which you are knowledgeable or passionate about, whether it's investing in setting up a business, cryptocurrencies, stocks, or anything else you like. In short, it does not matter which destination you choose, but it is very necessary that when you are about to do it, you have a clear idea of what you are doing, and you know in depth the sector, area, or field, and thus greatly reduce the risk of losing your savings, greatly increasing the chances of multiplying it. Let's look at the case of Marcos, who had savings and kept them under his mattress. As time went by, he saw how that money was losing value and decided that the time had come to put that money to work in the face of the imminent inflation that was sweeping his country. What he did was to invest in shares of technology companies that have a great popularity, and in this way, over time these shares may rise and he would be getting long-term gains without making any effort. As we can see through Marcos' case, investment constitutes the pillar of wealth that grants a strategic advantage, since it assures us greater comfort and gives us time for other activities, while our money increases. Earn more. Although it may seem strange, this pillar could be associated with certain aspects of our personality, hobbies, interests, and those skills or talents we possess. If today you are a person who is working in a dependent job, but you feel that it is not enough to live the life you long for with your income, consider the possibility of providing some kind of service outside of work. Taking time off to offer a service which not only opens doors to a wider labor market, but also puts you in a position to contribute value to society, that is, to make other people's lives easier. To explain this, let's look at the following case. A few years after she came of age, Mariah thought it would be best to become independent from her parents and move out on her own. However, over time this brought her headaches, because with her salary she paid the rent and did not have enough money left for anything else. Fortunately, the painting courses she had taken in the past helped her to dedicate herself to giving classes at home on weekends. She started with 2 students, then 4, each new enrollee represented an extra income, and very excited with this success, she considered taking a step further by expanding her teaching to the virtual world. She was no longer teaching only at home, she was tutoring on the internet and earning a significant income. In this way she was able to do other activities that she couldn't do before and was even able to save month after month. If you want to be like Mariah and increase your income, remember to subscribe to the channel that we will be uploading videos where we will give you tips and business ideas. Get out of debt. If you have control of your finances, have a plan of action to manage your money or speculate in the market when you are going to make a purchase, it is very likely that you will not have any kind of debt. On the other hand, if you have never tracked your spending and misuse your credit cards in your life, you may have a debt or two. As you know, all debt is a loss of money, the opposite of wealth. If you want to build this pillar, you must make a thorough review of how you manage your economy. It is basic and fundamental that you make a list of expenses to know how much money you have month by month and what percentage you allocate to pay off little by little the debts you have. Building this pillar in which debts do not exist entails the great responsibility of being able to modify your lifestyle, reducing expenses only to what is strictly necessary. Getting out of debt means that in the medium or long term you will again have a percentage of money to use it, but this time in an intelligent way. If you are liking the video, do not forget to subscribe to continue watching more content like this. Know the economic cycle. It is true that all the pillars of wealth that you have seen so far are indispensable to build a healthy financial structure. However, knowing this particular pillar allows you to develop a panoramic view of reality and how economic cycles run. Learning about the course of the economy and its behavior patterns will help you to know when it is the most opportune moment to make a financial transaction. How to invest, buy or borrow. There are periods of reactivation and boom in which consumption rises and markets expand. In its counterpart, recessionary or depressive periods that result in high unemployment rates, consumption growth and labor crises. You can hypothetically assess with an observation at a macro level how your finances are according to each cycle or determine how your financial decisions can be affected by it. As an exercise, ask yourself, do you have a stable income? Or do you have an emergency fund to face a recessionary period? The questions can be diverse, and asking them is always going to put you 2 steps ahead of the rest. This is why the wealth pillar of the economic cycle completes the framework necessary to achieve financial freedom. At the end of the day, it is always necessary to know how the world works, and if you know how money works along with economics, you will have much of the territory won. Bottom line, knowing these 5 pillars, you are already in a position to understand how the circle of wealth is formed, mainly by having several sources of income, with which you will have the possibility to save and later make investments. Knowing your finances so as not to get into debt and observing the economic cycles are 2 fundamental pillars that help you to have good financial skills. Have you asked yourself if there are any of these pillars at the base of your economy? If so, how do you think they are affecting you? The good news is that you have already noticed that despite any economic crisis you may be going through, you have these resources at hand that serve as a tool to reverse any situation. There may not be a strict order in how to use these pillars, but keep in mind that all these aspects, being interrelated, will be of utmost importance to incorporate them so that you can develop a stable, solid, and above all, successful economy. These have been the 5 pillars of wealth and abundance. If you liked the video, give us a like and tell us what you thought in comments. Do not forget to subscribe and activate the notification bell so YouTube will notify you when we upload new content. We leave you another video that may interest you and also the channel's playlist. See you in a future video.